Good day. It is Tuesday, November 12th, 2019. Thank you for joining us here on YouTube. Last week's recording that we published here on YouTube was entitled When I'm 64. Let's review that just briefly because it's important. In the years 2000, at the peak of the bull market, just before it slid into a 2.5 year bear market, and again in 2007 at the peak of the bull market, just before it slid into an 18-month devastating bear market. In both cases, the final reading of the weekly RSI on the Standard & Poor's 500 was right around 64. You are looking, folks, at the Standard & Poor's 500 weekly right here on this chart. And this is the January of 2018 peak. This is later into another peak later in 2018. Here are two peaks in 2019. And here is right now yet another all-time high on the Standard & Poor's 500. And guess what the reading is on the weekly Standard weekly RSI for the Standard & Poor's 500. It is 61.96, weaker than it was in 2007, just about the same as it was at the very peak, September 1st of 2000. That peak in 2007 was on October 11th, 2007, and here we are now on November 12th, 2019, another new all-time high with a reading of just 61.96. Folks, that's a top reading. Just wanted to remind you of that because that's where we are. Now, moving on. By the way, the New York Stock Exchange Composite Index has never returned to where it was in January of 2018. It is lower today than it was back in January 2018. That is true also of the Dow Jones Transportation Average. It made its peak in the middle of 2018, has never returned to that level, is lower now today. That is true also of the Russell 2000. It made its peak in mid-2018, has never come even close. It's about 10% below where it was in the middle of 2018, as it is in a bear market. So all of those, the RSI and the broader averages, are all telling us that we have been in a topping pattern. We've been in the beginnings of a bear market, but we are at the end of that move now, folks. Here is we're referencing and we're showing a chart that we showed back on January 28th, 2018, in an article called The Bottom Line, in which we said, look, folks, here we are at a new high on the Standard & Poor's 500. The ADL, the Advanced Decline Line, is going negative and has been declining now as we've come into this peak. That is the way these moves end. And guess what's happening right now? Right beside that, we are showing today's chart of Standard & Poor's 500 coming up to today's high right here. And look at the advanced decline line, very substantially lower over the last week. This market is peaking right now just the same as it did on January 26, 2018. Take a look at your own charts if you want to. After you have viewed this video, go back to January 26th of 2018. You'll see what we're talking about. But we have peaked. We are peaking in exactly the same way. We said then that we would wait for a sell signal on our 7 Sentinels before we finally pushed the button to go to 100% short, and we were almost there as we were writing this on January 26th, and in fact that sell signal came the very next trading day. January 26th was a Friday. On January 29th came that sell signal, and look what the market did then, folks. It dropped about 250 points in the next 8 or 10 sessions. We have that kind of setup right now. This is why we are doing this video today. We want to alert you to the fact that we are in a very, very precarious situation, or actually a very high, beautiful opportunity uh, area for serious traders that want to take advantage of this move. Right now, the Fed is making speeches all over the world, and they are testifying before Congress on Wednesday and Thursday, and that's holding up the market here for a couple of days. And it may continue to hold it up through Thursday, a couple more days, or it may not. This thing may crack at any point. So be ready. When it goes big time. And in fact, here is the current readings on the 7 Sentinels. This is the breadth in a downtrend, the McClellan oscillator, moving averages in a downtrend, the McClellan summation indexes, both on the NASDAQ and on the New York Stock Exchange, are in downtrends. And all we're waiting for now is for the VIX to move up, VIX and Vixen to move up. As soon as they do, boom, we'll have our signal. And we believe we have a magnificent market ahead of us. So that's all we wanted to say today. We're going to keep it short. If you go to 7sentinels.com, you can look at a whole lot of articles there, or you can click on limited time trial, and we're setting it up again today for just $4.95 for anybody who wants a 5-day trial of 7sentinels.com, so you can see all of our signals, all of our trades, all of our everything that we do there. We post throughout the day, and every night and every weekend, and all of our trades and signals are there. So click on that, and for $4.95 you can have a 5-day trial if you wish. So again, we want to thank you for coming and watching this video, and we want to wish you good trading.